Hello, you're watching Hornbill TV's On Live Bulletin. The central government on Thursday reimposed Armed Forces Special Powers Act to the area's jurisdiction of 6 more police stations in Manipur. These 6 police stations, 5 belongs to Valley and 1 belonging to the Hill District. According to a notice given by the Ministry of Home Affairs, the 6 police stations, namely Sekmai, Lamsang, Lamlai, Jiribam, Laimakhong and Moirang police stations will be imposed with AFSPA with immediate effect. Lamsang and Sekmai police stations come under Imphal West districts, which is mostly dominated by the Meitei population, while the Lamlai police station comes under Imphal East district and it is also mostly populated by the Meitei population. The Laimakhong police station comes under Kangpokpi district and it has become one of the violent hit regions due to the Meitei and Kuki populations in nearby areas. While Moirang police station comes under Bishnupur district and it is also a Meitei dominated area. However, the area is also affected by ethnic violence in the recent past. Jiribam police station comes under violence hit Jiribam district, which is located near the neighboring state of Assam, and the district is equally inhabited by Meitei, Kuki and Bengali speaking population. A large number of additional security forces have been moved to the state just a day ago. According to reports, 20 more companies of Central Security Forces have moved to the state on Wednesday. The decisions of additional security forces and AFSPA reimposition in 6 police stations can be seen as an effort to contain violence in the state. And to talk more about the burning issue that is taking place in Manipur, we've got our correspondent from Imphal, Mubashir Raji, and we will connect with him and try and get the latest ground reality as to what the situation is actually like on the ground and whether the people there living in Manipur, or rather the Manipuris, how they are feeling. Are they feeling safe or are they scared? First of all, good morning, Mubashir. Thank you so much for joining me. Mubashir, was this expected that the Ministry of Home Affairs extended the AFSPA to another 5 more, because there were now only 13 police stations are now safe from the AFSPA, but now 5 more have been added to AFSPA. So was this an expected move? Did the people of Manipur expect that the Ministry of Home Affairs would impose AFSPA in these police stations?
Well, Akibi, the Armed Forces Special Power Act has been a contentious issue in Manipur, Nagaland or Assam all the time. People have a love-hate relationship with AFSPA. Whenever AFSPA reimposed in the region, there is always a resistance from the people. And this time around also, even though the 6 police stations, the area jurisdiction of 6 police stations that will come under AFSPA with immediate effect that has been declared yesterday, even though these areas are very critical area in a sense that, there is a lot of violence happening in this area, and it was expected to some extent also, because the central government and both the central and state government should have to, people are, there is a lot of criticism towards them. People feel that more needs to be done to contain the violence in the state. However, having said that, the AFSPA has always been emotional issues. So I think people will protest also. People will, there will be some resistance. There will be resistance in the sense that there will be some protest in Delhi also, because people feel that, reimposition of AFSPA is, AFSPA will somehow, affect the normal activities or of the people here. So the people never wanted AFSPA in northeastern state, particularly in Manipur. There is a long history. There is a lot of agitations for agitation against the AFSPA since a very long time. So even Irom Sarmila fasted for more than 10 years, just to remove AFSPA from Manipur. So AFSPA is a very contentious issue in Manipur, and it will once again reimposition of AFSPA somehow. People in particularly in valley areas, in hill district, it is already there, and while on the other hand, the Kuki MLAs even write to the Home Ministry, Union Home Ministry, that the AFSPA should be equally imposed in valley area as well, because the violence are happening both in hill and valley district of Manipur. Yes. So the reimposition, if AFSPA AFSPA is in place, then it should be it should be everywhere. That is what Kuti MLA have written to the Union Home Ministry time and again. I'm sure the central government look at the pros and cons clearly and then reimpose the AFSPA. Additionally, more than 20 companies of central security forces has been moved to the Manipur in recent past. A lot of additional security moved to the state. However, either way, the violence are happening, particularly in Jiribam.
Yes.
The violence are still continuing. Yes, Akivito.
All right, Mubashir, now you just mentioned a district called Jiribam. You have been following this whole Manipur issue ever since May 3rd in last year, 2023. Well, Mubashir, if there's one thing that the people know who have been following this Manipur violence and the ethnic violence that has been taking place for more than a year, the violence initially started almost in Imphal East, Imphal West and the Churachandpur areas. At that point of time when the violence began, Jiribam was comparatively very peaceful. Well, as the violence continued, there was also an opportunity for both the sides to actually come and have like a peace talks in Jiribam, after which Jiribam has now become the center of violence. For the viewers, Mubashir, could you please explain as to how the violence penetrated Jiribam and how now Jiribam is the center for violence that is taking place? Just a few days back, there was a very unfortunate incident in which more than 10 militants were gunned down by the security forces, and then a CRPF Jawan was also injured, after which there was a kidnapping case. So for the viewers, can you please give us a small understanding as to how the violence shifted from the core areas and now to Jiribam? And also, one should understand that Jiribam also is a bordering district with Assam, and Silchar and Jiribam are bordering two districts, Silchar on the Assam side and Jiribam on the Manipur side. So for the viewers, can you please explain in a little as to how the violence shifted from areas like Churachandpur, Kangpokpi, Imphal West, Bishnupur, and now everything is now located in Jiribam. So how did this happen?
Well, Akibi, you rightly pointed out that, Jiribam was relatively calm for almost a year.
Yes.
There was no report of violence, particularly, ethnic violence.
Yes.
No report of ethnic violence in Jiribam district for almost 1 year. So it is a failure, I think, of the state and central government to, somehow prevent the violence in Jiribam. They get enough time. As far as your question that why now the Jiribam has become an epicenter of violence, mainly because in Jiribam both the community are residing side by side even today. But in other areas that you mentioned like Churachandpur, from Churachandpur, the Meitei population already moved back to Imphal, so there is no question of violence here. Even in Imphal, east and west, and even if we take up the case of Imphal east and west, the Kuki population have already moved out from Imphal, and they are already, they have already shifted to somewhere in, Churachandpur or Kangpok area. Yes. So now the population is the Kuki population and Meitei population are not residing side by side at the moment, particularly in Imphal and Churachandpur, even in More, etc. The huge Meitei population from More have moved to Imphal. So the mass exodus that took place after that, May 3 last year incident. So right now, but in case of Jiribam population, Meitei population, Kuki population, Bengali population, it is a Jiribam is a kind of multicultural area.
Yes.
Bengali population, even Muslim population are still living side by side. And it was a relatively calm place for a very long time. However, once the red zone area being developed, once the population moved out to separate locations, it was bound to the focus was bound to shift to Jiribam. Yes. So I think the state government and the central government as well should have predicted that they should have the more foresight to understand that once the violence subsided in other places, it will ultimately, comes to Jiribam. They should have, I think everyone who is watching the violence, who is closely monitoring the violence in Manipur, understood that violence will ultimately shift to violence, Jiribam. So it was a kind of a failure for the government. They should have, started the, peace process, all other, mechanism, security mechanism, peace process, and every other thing they could have, there is in their, hand. And they should have started it a long time back. So it is the failure of the government. Right now, Jiribam is one area where, we got to hear about the violence every now and then. Other area where still violence are violence is still continuing, or even if we look at this 6 police station area that AFSPA reimposed yesterday itself, these are hotbed of violence. If we look at even Laimakong area, Laimakong is on one side it is Kangpokpi district, on other side Impal West district, and the area being an adjoining place, the violence, we often hear about, firing of rockets and drones, etc. In this peripheral area. So it was a central government, new measures to contain the violence. In other places that AFSPA recently imposed, like the Laimakong is, I just mentioned. After that, other places like Sekmai is one contentious area, because on one side it is Impal West, on the other side it is Kangpokpi district, and the violence, it happened now and then. Even for the Moirang police station, Moirang is just beyond Moirang, there is Chulchanpur district. On one side there is Bishnupur district, and on other side Chulchanpur district, and violence happen every now and then. There are series of area where the villages belonging to Meitei and Kuki are still residing side by side. Even though there is a red zone area, there is a buffer zone area where the central government, huge amount of central security forces are being stationed. Violence is still taking place. So it was central government way of tackling the violence, the reimposition of this AFSPA, and about Jiribam in particular. Jiribam is a relatively calm place for almost 1 year, but somehow the violence reached there. Once the violence reached to Jiribam, there is no returning back. Even the peace process or some kind of negotiation between the communities living there, the Mar and the Meiteis and the other Bengali-speaking population or other people, the time and again, some local form of negotiation started here. However, the lasting peace, lasting peace could not be prevailed here till now. Yes, that's it.
All right, Mubashir, now coming back to a very unfortunate incident in which you had sent us the reports just a few days back. There have been alleged, or rather there are reports stating that about 6 people have been kidnapped, in which yesterday in the report that you had sent us, the victim's father spoke out stating that his children that have been kidnapped or abducted cannot even speak yet, which just states that the victim that has been kidnapped is just a baby. So in this regard, what is the government doing? Did the government, or rather the administration or the agencies, have they given out any strong statement regarding this kidnapping case? And also, what are some of the things that the government is doing so that the 6 people that have been abducted get freed as soon as possible? Because we are now seeing that a lot of civil society organizations in Manipur are actually now getting up and calling for the release and safe release of the 6 victims that have been abducted by militants. So what is the stance of the state government and also the administration and the security forces? Have they given out any strong statement regarding this kidnapping case?
Yesterday itself, the BJP condemned the incident, Congress condemned the incident, large number of civil society organizations are coming out and condemning the incident. Having said that, it is the failure of the government, to trace 6 people. 3 women and 3 children are still, there is no lead. Even the incident happened right on Monday. After that, stood out between the CRPF personnel and those militants. After that incident, these 6 people, they were probably trying to hide somewhere in a safer location, and they might have landed in, whoever people, responsible for, keeping them hostage. So there is no update on them till now, and at the moment, people are hesitating in large number. Just 2 days back, there was a complete shutdown, 24 shutdown in Imphal and Delhi area, called by some 13 civil society organizations. And yesterday, many student organizations, held agitations. Even during the night time, also there was candlelight videos and all form of agitation here. But it is a failure. It is a major failure of the state and central government to trace out 6 people, mostly the 3 of them are minor children, and the 3 are women. So the situation has created a kind of a deadlock, and it is the pressure is mounting toward the state government to trace the whereabouts of this. Akibito, strangely, the earlier whenever there was a hostage kind of situation,
yes,
there was always some kind of communication between between the 2 sides. But
yes,
but particularly in this case, there is no communication. There is no communication whatsoever till now. So it's a very strange kind of a situation. Nobody actually know where these 6 people are. Yes. Nobody, in a sense that particularly in Delhi, nobody actually know where these 6 people are, whether they are still alive or whether they are dead. Nobody knows. But the pressures are mounting. I think it will be a very it will not be an easy task for the government also, even for the government to remain a mere spectator when 6 innocent people are held hostage somewhere, and the state government failure to find them for such a long time. It's a complete failure. Yes, Atibi.
All right, Mubashir, on the other hand, what we wanted to know, and also what the viewers would want to know, is the fact that there is a mandated government that is currently ruling in Manipur, which is the BJP government, and this is the 2nd term of Chief Minister Biren Singh. Well, Chief Minister Biren Singh is the mandated choice by the people of Manipur to guide and lead the state of Manipur. Unfortunately or fortunately, over the past few days after the Jiribam incident, or just a week before that too, when there were sporadic incidents of violence that were being reported from the state of Manipur, we have seen a deafening silence from the state government, or rather the ruling party. In fact, has there been any statement given by any of the ministers or even the chief minister regarding the current violence that is taking place? Because we don't seem to hear much about statements being made by the administration or even government machinery. In fact, we only hear about statements given by the police officers or top officials like I.K. Moiva, or even for that reason the police. But what about the ministers and the chief minister? Has there been any official statement given by the chief minister's office or even Chief Minister Biren Singh himself? And has he promised the people of Manipur that normalcy will return soon, or what is the current situation there? And is there any press conference slated that is to be taken by the chief minister himself?
Well, Akibi, the state government, particularly Chief Minister and Biren Singh, has maintained an very stern silence. The renewed violence in Manipur, particularly in Jiribam district, and then this hostage drama. The Chief Minister and Biren Singh is normally regarded as a very outspoken person.
Yes.
He always comes out in media and he makes statements, and he always he is regarded as a media friendly, very outspoken personality. However, for last 10 days, there is a airy silence maintained by Chief Minister Biren Singh, and he is hardly, he is hardly joining any program also. There is a program today, at Kumbal Lampak related to Thangka, where the media person will obviously try to get a statement from him. But normally Chief Minister Biren Singh is a very outgoing personality. He is going to be very active most of the time. He normally, in normal scenario, he attends 2-3 programs every day. He is always coming out in public, giving statements. But for last 10 or 15 days, there is not a single statement from the Chief Minister himself or from the state government in particular. Yes, some officials like some high-ranking police authority and some officials here and there make some statements. Other than that, there is no official statement from the state government, particularly from Chief Minister Biren Singh. So much so that people are, even questioning whether, is there any, chances of any method suspension being imposed in Manipur or things like that. Because, the kind of silence that Chief Minister Biren Singh is maintaining for last few days is quite uncommon by the standard of Chief Minister Biren Singh. He is a very outspoken personality. Whenever we met him, he never shy away from making statements. He always come out and he always makes statements. And but for last 10 days, there is an airy silence. There is not a single statement from Chief Minister Biren Singh himself, or neither from his Council of Ministers. He is hardly going out in public also for last 2 years. So there is some report saying that he might today attend a program at Kumbal Lampak about indigenous art, about indigenous martial art related program. So all the peoples will be waiting for him. I think, and with the renewed violence in Manipur, a large number of national media have already arrived in Imphal in last few days since the happening of this shootout between CRPF and Kuki militant at Jiribam. A large number of national media houses have already arrived in Imphal, and they are still being stationed in Imphal and elsewhere in Manipur, covering the violence in Manipur. So they might have already get some leads from the New Delhi that some new things might be, some new happenings might be, new developments might be happening in Manipur. So a large number of national media houses are already arriving in Imphal and other places, and they are already being stationed. And I think they will try to get a bite from the Chief Minister. I think they are already trying hard to get a statement from the Chief Minister, and even we also were trying to get even a simple statement from the Chief Minister. But so far there is no statement from Chief Minister. Yes, Akibito.
All right, thank you so much, Mubashir. We seem to have run out of time, but thank you for giving us the latest updates, and we will be connecting back with you to get further updates as to what the ground situation is actually like in Manipur. Till then, we hope you remain safe, and we hope that Manipur sees peace as soon as possible. Thank you so much, Mubashir. Well, that was our correspondent, Mubashir Raji, who is in Imphal, and he has been updating us on the latest happenings that are taking place in Manipur. Unfortunately, the main burning issue is the fact that 6 people have been abducted, in which 3 are women and 3 are infants. The victims, the abducted victim's father also spoke out yesterday, in which he has stated that his children are innocent and they can barely speak yet, which means they are just infants, and he has pleaded with the group that has abducted his kids to please release them, so that at least some state of normalcy could return in his life too. Hornbill TV will be getting you all the latest updates regarding this particular story, so keep watching Hornbill TV.